Radhe Krishna Radhe, Jai Radhe Krishna Radhe, Radhe Krishna Radhe Krishna Radhe Krishna Radhe,
unless your consciousness is receptive to it, you will not fit in. Now you say, why doesn't God call us to Golok? If He calls you to Golok, now imagine how suffocated you will be. Everybody is doing Krishna, Krishna. Everybody is praising Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So only when you are full of that love in your heart will you qualify. So Sri Krishna says that those who have attained that eligibility, I call them over. Now understand Vedic cosmology. Remember, Western cosmology believed that the earth is the center of creation. This was the geocentric theory until the days of Copernicus. Right? And they also believed that if the earth is flat, if you go a little too far, you'll fall off. Now, the Vedas clearly stated that the earth is round, and hence the name for geography has always been in Sanskrit Bhugol, the round earth. They also explained that there are 5 mandals, 7 lokas and 3 trilokis. How is that? They say, look, there is one Chandramandal that is established on the gravitation of Bhumandal, and the loka of that is Chandralok, the loka of this is Bhulok. But Bhumandal is not stationary, it is rotating on the gravitation of Surya Mandal, and the loka of that is Swarlok. And between Bhu and Swa is the Antariksh, the space which is called Bhuva. So Bhu, Bhuva, Swa is the first triloki. But that Surya Mandal is not stationary, it is rotating on the gravitation of Parameshthi Mandal, and the lok of that is Janalok. And between Swa and Jana is the Antariksh which is called Maha. Swa Maha Jana is the second triloki. And Parameshthi Mandal is also not stationary, it is rotating around the gravitation of Swayambhu Mandal. And the loka of that is Satyalok, also called Brahmalok, the abode of Brahma. And between Jana and Satya is the Antariksh called Tapa. Jana, Tapa, Satya is the third triloki. So while other traditions just talk about 7th heaven, Satwa Asman, the Vedas have gone into detail. Look, Bhum Bhuva Swa Mahajana Tapa Satya. And they also talk of the 7 nether regions. So Tal, Atal, Vital, Mahatal, Sutal, Talatal, Rasatal and Patal. But then they explain that all of this is just one universe. Now science is understanding. Science will now tell you that, look, you think you are stationary? You are rotating at 1000 miles an hour with this spin of the earth. 1000 miles an hour is the speed of your movement. But then the earth is also moving at 66,000 miles an hour around the sun. So this is the second axis around which you are moving. And the sun is moving at 500,000 miles an hour around the center of the Milky Way galaxy, the Meru Parvat. This is the third movement. And this galaxy, the sun is about 220,000 light years away from the center of the galaxy. And this galaxy has got 100 billion suns. 100 billion, you understand, 10 to the power 11. Now science says, when I started my preaching 40 years ago, science said, I clearly remember, that there are 3 billion galaxies. This got updated, then it got updated, then it got updated. Then a few years ago, they started saying there are 100 billion galaxies. And now they say the recent estimates that the number of galaxies are anywhere from 300 billion to 1 trillion. So each galaxy's got 100 billion. And if there are 300 billion galaxies, you multiply that. You get 3 into 10 to the power 22. Those many suns are there in one universe. But then our Vedas tell us that this is not the only universe. Science is today accepting the multiverse theory. And the Vedas always said it. Sankhya chet rajasamasti na vishwanam kadachana brahma vishnu shivadinam tatha sankhya na vidyate. The Devi Bhagavad Puran says, every universe has got one Shankar, one Brahma, one Vishnu. So in infinite universes, there are infinite Shankar, Brahmas and Vishnus. Lok lok pratibhinna vidhata bhinna Vishnu Shiva manadrishi trata. Even the Ramcharitmanas is stating, that is why the Puranas relate the story that once Chaturmukhi Brahma, the Brahma of our universe, went to meet Sri Krishna in Dwarika. And he said to the Dwarpal, please tell Krishna that I have come. Dwarpals went to Sri Krishna and said, a gentleman has come. He calls himself Brahma. Sri Krishna said, ask him which Brahma is he. Dwarpal said, he's asking which Brahma are you? Brahmaji thought, I am the only Brahma. No, which Brahma? Tell him the four-headed Brahma, the father of the four Kumars. So Dwarpal informed and Sri Krishna said, call him in. When Brahmaji came, he first of all offered his respects and then said, Bhagavan, what was the meaning of your question? Which Brahma? Are there any other Brahmas apart from me? Sri Krishna smiled. He started calling by his Yogamaya power the Brahmas of innumerable universes. They all were coming there and offering their respects to Sri Krishna. Brahmaji saw there was a Brahma with 1,000 heads. He said, I have got 4 heads and my universe is so big. How big will his universe be? And there was a Brahma coming with 10,000 heads. And there was a Brahma with 100,000 heads, 1 lakh. And there was a Brahma with 10 lakh heads and one Brahma with 1 crore heads. And there was a Brahma with 10 crore heads and a Brahma with 1 Arab, which is equal in Western counting to 1 billion. 1 billion heads. देखी चतुर्मुखी ब्रह्म हইল चमत्कार कृष्णेर चरणे आसी करिल नमस्कार. Brahmaji fell at the feet of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna smiled and said, Brahmaji, there are infinite universes in this realm of Maya. Each of them has got one Brahma. I am the head of all of them. So, all of this is 1/4 and beyond this is the spiritual sky, 3/4. That has got innumerable abodes of the divine personalities of God. Saket is the abode of Ram, Golok is the abode of Sri Krishna, Vaikuntha is the abode of Narayan. So Brahmaji in his Brahma Samhita he does stuti. Golok dhamni nijadhamni talecha tasya devi mahesha haridhama suteshu teshu te te prabhava nichaya vihitaschayena govindamadi purusham tamam bhajami. I offer my respects to that Sri Krishna, whose eternal abode is Golok in the spiritual sky, in the midst of the abodes of Durga, Devi, Shiv, etc., etc., etc. So Sri Krishna is saying here that Arjun, that divine abode, if you ever come there, you will never return to this world of Maya again. It will be your permanent address. Next one. Mamaivansho jivaloke Jiva bhuta sanatana Mana shashthani indriyani Prakritisthani karshati. Translation. The embodied souls in this material world are my eternal fragmental parts. But bound by material nature, they are struggling with the 6 senses, including the mind. So he's just said those who surrender will come to my abode. What about the rest? We people who are here, he says, Arjun, they are also my eternal parts. Every living being, he doesn't distinguish. He says, all living beings are my eternal parts. He is referring to the soul, to your soul. You are an eternal part of God. But he says that they are suffering in this world. Now these eternal parts are of different kinds. One are Swansh. Swansh are integral parts of God. Like Sri Ram, Shivji, Narayan, they are all Swanshas of Sri Krishna, let's say. That they are integral parts. So they are all governors of Yoga Maya like Sri Krishna himself. There is no scope of them coming under Maya. And then are we souls, we are Vibhinna Ansh. We are not in the category of Ram or Shiv, etc. We are tiny fragmental parts. These Vibhinna Anshas are also of 3 kinds. Some are Nitya Siddh. Nitya Siddh are those who have always resided in the divine abode. Sometimes a Nitya Siddh may descend for our welfare. Kripaluji Maharaj, etc. They may just descend for our welfare. Even, the president, the governor of California, he sometimes walks into jail because it's under his administration. So second are Sadhan Siddh, who were under Maya. But through sadhana, they attained God and they became Sadhan Siddh. And the third are Nityabadh, who have always been under Maya. This is our category. So for those souls, he says, they are also my parts. But they have forgotten. They are struggling with the 6 senses, which includes the mind. Mana shashthani indriyani. So it's 5 senses and the mind. This struggle is going on. And why is the struggle going on? First of all, the soul has forgotten its relationship with God. How did this ignorance come over the soul? If it is a part of God, if it is Sat, Chit, Anand, then how did the soul fall into ignorance? What is the reason for it? It is Sat Chit Anand, but it is Anusat, Anuchit and Anuanand. Tiny in quantity. And God is Vibhu Sat, Vibhu Chit and Vibhu Anand. So just like, there are sources of light. If you go outside in the night, There is one lamp burning in a home. There are street lights. And there may also be stars. It may be a starry night. And it may also be a full moon. No clouds, etc. But none of all these put together cannot dispel the night. Raka pati shodasho hi taragana samudaya. The Ramayana says, let all these sources of illumination apply all their power, the night remains. Sakala girinha davalaya ravi binu rata na jaye. And the moment the sun arises, the darkness runs away. So like the sun is God, and these souls, etc., like the stars, etc., they are sources of illumination, but tiny in quantity, and hence the darkness of Maya has enveloped them. And what has Maya done? Maya has made us forget our identity. I am the soul, this we have forgot. Who are you? Swamiji, my name is Ram Gopal. Ram Gopal, I did not ask you your name. This Ram Gopal was given to you when you were 3 years old by your parents. What were they calling you before that? Swamiji, they were calling me Pappu. So, when you were Pappu, were you a different person? When you became Ram Gopal, did you change? A name is a name. You are not the name. We have created a false sense of self. Now somebody is identifying with this body. I am a Brahman. A Brahman? You know, it is like you sit in a Toyota and you say, who are you? I am a Toyota. Then you sit in a Mercedes. I am a Mercedes. So this body, which is not the self, we are identifying it as me. Somebody saying, I'm a systems manager. This is your post. This is not you. So we have forgotten our identity as the soul, and we are thinking of ourselves as the body, mind, intellect mechanism. But from here a compounding mistake is going on. What is the compounding mistake? Now if you start your mathematics from here, 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. Start from here. Now all the computation you do, not only will the error remain, it will start multiplying. Likewise, when you decide I am the body, then all the relatives of the body are mine. And where is my happiness? It is in the pleasures of the body. So what should I see that I get happiness? What should I taste that I get happiness? Now we are running. And running. We are getting the reverse. Because the soul can never experience satisfaction in the material pleasures. It's like you take a fish out of the water and tell the fish, "Arey machli bhai, I'll make you happy." And you massage the fish in perfumed oils and apply some air conditioners to give it favorable temperatures. And the fish is getting morose. You know, like once that whale, Humphrey, had entered the Bay Area, and it went all the way to Sacramento River. And it stayed there for 3 weeks. Its color was changing because it was not a freshwater whale. So likewise, this fish, you say, okay, I'll make you happy. Open your mouth, I'll put in espresso coffee. The fish can't speak. If it could, it would say, look, I don't want any of this. If you want to make me happy, put me back in the water. So likewise, this running around is going on. And Sri Krishna says the souls of the world are struggling. And the whole struggle has started from the first point, forgetfulness of the self.